What is up? 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 This is your boy alertwolf, and I am here to bring you another episode of Anime Redux. Now, this is episode 2. Alright, so as you guys have known, I'm sorry about the background noise. We're right next to the AC. It's a little loud. So I'm gonna speak louder so you guys can hear me better. Basically, this last week I have been poring over anime on Crunchyroll because the new season has started. The summer season has started, and I have been literally watching tons and tons of anime, trying to figure out what am I gonna review, what am I gonna do, where am I gonna go, where am I gonna skew, what's going on. So here's what I've decided. I'm gonna do 3 shows. Now the first show I already started reviewing last week. That is Dragon Ball Super. That's right, DBS, baby, DBS. And that's on episode 2. I'm going to do that review a little later today. But I've also decided to take on 2 more shows. Another action comedy. Well, it is an action comedy. Another action and a comedy to fit the theme. Now, I've been, poring over them, and I've checked out Actually I Am, which is up there. It's a close contender. That one, if you guys haven't watched it yet, it's a harem-based comedy where the main character he has a weakness or a lack of superpower. He cannot lie. He's bad at lying. He can't keep a secret, and he has friends, but people avoid him too. And he falls for the elusive hot girl in class, and he finds out that when he's gonna confess his love to her, he finds out that she's a vampire, and she's equally as clueless that he likes her, which he's the only one he can keep that from. The girl he used to like, in the second episode, you find out she is a alien that uses who uses a human-sized robot of herself. Meanwhile, she's about this big, and she has a little antenna, where a robot has a big bolt sticking out of his head, and people. But that one's pretty funny, and I got to tell you, I'm really enjoying it. And I actually was considering it. It is up there. I am still not 100% decided on which one I'm going to go, so it's between this and another one. But moving down the list, Aoharu x Machinegun. I butchered that name. I butchered her name. That one is another type of action comedy. Centers around this girl who has an affinity for justice, but she looks and dresses like a dude. And so she meets her neighbor, who's like a male escort, and he's into survival games, and he tricks her into doing it, and she ends up joining, and he thinks she's a dude. Another older character too is the 3rd member of their little Triforce team, and he's like a hentai manga artist. So there's a good amount of action, good amount of comedy, and ridiculousness because of the fact that nobody believes she's a girl. Also, one of my tops this season, and I'm going to be talking about them as they progress. Another one I checked out was Charlotte. And this one, a little darker. Also, I feel like it's going to be more harem-based, but it's definitely darker. The main character tries to be, he's like a bootleg Lelouch. And basically he has the ability to possess you for 5 seconds. And so when he does, he leaves his body, and then there's nothing in his body, so he just falls over. But after doing some ridiculous things. He ends up using it to become like the leader and not the leader, what's the word? The genius of a school and the most popular guy, and he's using it for fame and fortune basically, until he's found out by a student council president of a neighboring school, who basically gets the evidence on him and blackmails him to join the school. That school is it's a school for people like them. Each one of them have their own ability. She can become invisible, I believe, to people that she's fighting against, right? So she can make one person see her as invisible, which could be devastating. Another dude can like, calls it teleport, but basically he like flies at super speed, but he can't really control it. So he's more like a rocket ball. It's a slow start, but it does get going. Another one is Classroom Crisis. This is a futuristic. It's a future-based anime about a school that's done by a corporation. It's similar to Gundam storyline, where there are colonies and on different planets and different asteroids and stuff like that, and they started to colonize the solar system. They're a tech company, and what they do is they build engines, and it's like an aircraft design company type deal, only spacecrafts. Things go crazy when this tradition of this school gets interrupted by one of the CEO's sons, who is aspiring to take control of the company. He's the runt of the litter, but very shrewd and very cunning. You have other characters such as the head teacher or the homeroom teacher, who's a big genius. He's younger. You have every student in the class is also a genius. His younger sister's in the class, and their ace is like a chick who's very quiet. But the dynamic of the group is pretty good. And again, I'm interested to see where that's going. It's another one you may want to check out. Let's see, what was it? I checked out. All right, Gate. Gate is another one I checked out. This anime, and again, I only watched the first 2 episodes of all of these. So Gate is an anime. Basically, they dropped Star from Gate. Get it? Stargate. And it's a very similar concept, only a magical gate opens in Tokyo, downtown, letting out an exploratory army of like mythical middle-aged type, like Lord of the Rings type army, with the goblins and other like mythological creatures, dragons, the humans at the helm, and they terrorize and attack. During the attack, you have your main character who takes charge. He was just going to see, he wanted to just go see an anime convention. As a matter of fact, somehow he may be psychically linked, because he was having flashes of the other world and these women that may lead you to think this may go harem on you. Which makes him bump into the wall. But that's about the only bit of comedy, because after that, like I said, there's an invading army, they're killing civilians, he takes control. In that first episode, you really don't know who he is until the end. He helps guide the police, he even killed, at the end of the conflict, he kills some dude quite effortlessly to tell you he's real badass. And you find out that he's a Special Defense Forces military member who gets promoted for being the hero of the day. And basically, the self-defense army does engage the enemy and just kills them. I mean, what would you expect with dudes with tanks, machine guns, and rockets, and Apache helicopters versus swords, shields, and dragons? Like, we win. The second episode is about there's also a geopolitical element to it. Japan and other nations want to go into the gate to see what's there, and to see if there's more hostiles, which they do. the U.S. is using the situation to their advantage as well as they plot their own things. They go in there and find another world. He's part of that exploratory committee. You meet some of his members of his team, and basically they get besieged by an army. They annihilate that army, and then what they did was unbalance the world because the main empire is now weakened. So the emperor, manipulates the other countries into attacking. By doing so, they also get wiped out by our advanced military force. So, you may have a force of a few thousand men. They killed over 120,000 men. And then they go into town and decide to start exploring the neighboring towns and try to build a better relation since they've been there. All they've been is attacked. So our hero leads his team, and they go off. Meanwhile, the emperor sends his only beloved daughter, who they don't seem to like each other at all, and her forces, which probably to me seem like they're more chicks. Out to fight he also after she leaves, he tells or before she even got there, I forget the order, but he wants scorched earth, so he's commanding all villages between them be burnt, destroyed, poisoned, you name it, they're going to happen. So during their search through the villages, they see a dragon destroy the forest. They go in there, this is the end of the episode, and they find an elf girl in a well. Everybody else is dead. That elf girl was part of the dream in the first episode, to let you think that he is somehow connected and the harem is coming. Now, this one it has a lot of elements to it, and I really like it. One of my contenders for the action. And again, here at Anime Access, I'm not going to give you reviews on things. I'm just going to tell you what's good and what I've checked out so that you can go off, watch, and make your own informed decisions. In case you're wondering, my commitment to excellence is being brought to you by Great South Bay Brewery. Blood Orange Pale Ale is what I'm drinking. Delicious. If you're under 21, don't drink. If you're over 21, delicious. Especially if you like craft beer. Just trying to think of what else did I watch. Like I said, I watched a lot of stuff. Okay. My everyday life with monster girls. I think this is going to be the comedy I'm doing, and it just edges out. Actually, I am same type of thing. It's basically in this show, there are monsters, and they're no longer being hidden by the governments. And now they're starting to do like almost a student exchange program, and we're starting to see them integrate into human society. Now this one is a harem-based comedy where every girl is a different rare type of monster girl. The first, I'm not gonna get too much into it because I'm gonna do this as my review, but basically the main character just ends up inheriting more and more of these monster girls who all obviously love him. All are different with different powers, and it's interesting to see how the different mythological creatures interact with each other, and how can they draw them like sexy. Also, this one is a lot more TNA than the other one. It's all over the place. I'm sure if you watched it uncut, it would just be nakedness everywhere. So it's a little bit raunchier than the previous one. But what makes me want to take it is in one moment, the dude knocks somebody out to defend how negatively they were talking against one of the women he's staying with. In that moment, they drew it very badass, like he's more powerful than he lets on, like he's a stronger guy. It may lead you to conclude that there may be some fighting later on in this anime, a little more action maybe. So for that was that was the reason why I chose this anime. So you're gonna get a video for that out of me later today. Next up, I took let's see, what was the next one? Okay, Rokka-Braves of the Six Flowers. This one was a close runner-up for my action anime choice, but I didn't go this route. However, this one's very good. It has good beginnings. Basically, your main the anime is about. It's almost set up in like ancient South America and Aztec Mayan type thing. There's a legend that this goddess defeated a demon god, but she didn't kill him. So every 300 years he returns, but her spirit, which is the spirit of the flower, picks 6 people to be her champions, and they're given the mark to defeat the evil one. And I think 2 times before this has happened, and now this is the beginning of the 3rd time. We meet our main character interrupting a duel to see who will challenge the princess, to see who's the strongest warrior in the land. He beats the 2 challengers quite because he plays dirty. Let's be real, he plays dirty. But then after that, he's arrested and beat up and spends time in jail where he meets basically the princess in disguise, who he tells his gimmick to, and she agrees, and then the moment happens. The evil ones move forth. The marks get released. He has the mark, she has the mark. They escape together and do their own thing. Later on, at the end of the 2nd episode, they find 2 more members of the mark. Remember, they have to find all 6. One is somebody the princess knows and who seems to be devoted to her, and we'll see what his true motives are. The other one is a woman capable of shooting like magic bullets. I don't know. And she is supposedly the one that's trying to kill all the Braves. So there's some dynamic there. It's a good amount of action. A little bit of I don't know. The balance of the anime is very right, and you get the idea that the adventure is just going to get bigger. The action's going to get cooler. Everybody seems to have their own special way of fighting and special abilities therein. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it develops. Like I said, this was going to be my choice until I got to the anime that I actually found. All right, now let me tell you about this next one that I saw. This one is called School Live. School Live. My fault. School Live is a girly anime about like 4 girls or 5 girls, something like that, living in what looks like a classroom. There's a dog with them, and it's very innocent and sweet and very light and girly and funny in some ways. And I'm watching this, and it was just a little, like, I don't mind, I watch all anime, so I don't care if it's a little girly or not. However, it was a little too much for me. But I stuck around to the end, I gave it a shot, and here's what makes this anime worth watching and worth checking out at least the 2nd episode. And at the time of this recording, folks, the 2nd episode hadn't been released yet. At the very end of the episode, she's the main character, who's ditzy, goes back to the classroom for her book bag. She's talking to people in the classroom, explaining about the dog and all these things, and there's some comedy moments there. Then one of the sub-characters, the younger characters, she had been looking throughout the whole episode serious, like she wanted to tell the main character something, but hasn't. And then you see through her eyes what the classroom actually looks like. And it's in ruins. There's blood, dry blood places, and broken glass, and so the other chick is just crazy. She's talking to people that aren't there. And then they zoom out, and what do you find? They're living in the school, and it's the zombie apocalypse. It's High School of the Dead. So, wow, that one threw me for a loop. I can't say I'm just super interested in where they go from here. I have no idea what this anime is going to bring me. It's a very lighthearted, girly comedy set in a school that happens to be set in the zombie apocalypse. So there is a heaping amount of darkness under the surface of this anime. And I don't know if they've got the mix right, but definitely in the 1st episode, the mix wasn't there. It was more about the shocking reveal. All right. And love, to love are you darkness. that one is back for a second season. It's been a while since it's been around, so it's great to see this anime come back in a second season. I thought about reviewing it because I did like the show, the previous season, a lot, but I decided not to. But it's great to see it return. First 2 episodes, it's a slow ramp up right now, just seeing where the season goes. And all I have to say about this one is long live the harem. And it's a good action adventure harem type deal, and I'm looking forward to checking it out as it progresses. Really, really good. All right, next we come to my anime action pick, Ushio and Tora. Ushio and Tora. I feel like I'm butchering Ushio's name, but this is an oldie but goodie that has been brought back in a modern day adaptation. This is an old story, an old anime, old manga, just given the modern touch and brush off. I watched the first 2 episodes. It has that right blend of really funny, with that action and a sense of danger and blood about it, and seriousness underneath the comedy, which I love. It is the reason why I'm going this route. It is so good. I can't wait to review it for you later on. So that is the anime portion of Anime Redux. Before I let you go, let me just hit you up with some video gaming and video game stuff. So on the Nintendo front, I'd like to have a moment of silence for the fallen CEO, and it's sad to see him go. He's a great man. He's been doing games for forever, and it's just horrible to see him go. But he was young. He was only in his 50s, and it's just a shame. I think they said it was a bioduct growth. I believe Miyamoto and others are stepping in to fill the void. What was I thinking? To fill the void now that the CEO has passed. Iwata is I think he was responsible for Kirby, responsible for the 3DS, very well respected. He's going to be missed. Now, on the Nintendo front, I've been playing a lot of Splatoon. That game is so much fun. Also, the amiibo thing has been a great hunt. But the Splatoon has been a lot of fun. They just did one Splatfest, which is cats versus dogs. Dogs rule. Team Dogs right here. And then they're starting a new one, which is roller coasters versus water slides. And I'm on Team Water Slides. I know what you're thinking, which is better. And here's why water slides win. It's summer, girls in bikinis, scantily clothes, going down fun water slides, getting wet on that. Not only that, but I prefer the water sports. As you can tell, I'm a little bit bigger. I do love roller coasters, but it's hard for me to finish some of them. But I'm on team. I'm on Team Water Slide. So if I see you out there, I'll hit you with my splat roller and take care of you. All right. So that's gonna be wrapping it up. Okay, I'm gonna be bringing you anime reviews a little later on. You're gonna get from me the latest Dragon Ball Super, which is I believe episode 2. You're gonna get Ushio and Tora episode 1 and 2 review. You're also gonna get Everyday Life with Monster Girls episode 1 and 2 review out of me later today. So this is Wolf saying, click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please subscribe if you can.